Hi everyone, welcome to this tutorial. I'm Dami of 𝐓𝐻𝐂𝐇. Today we're learning how to make this beautiful gathers gown with a front overlap and a basque waistline. So if this is what you are looking at to learn, stick to the end of the tutorial. The one I made in the tutorial is the one displayed on the screen right now, so you can trust the process. If you are joining us for the first time, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to click the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell to get notified anytime we have a new tutorial. For our returning subscribers, thank you. Let's get started. Alright, so to draft the ruched shoulder dress and the basque and overlap waistline, I'll be using this Ankara fabric for the cutting. So this is about 3.5 yards of Ankara. So first now we'll start by drafting it on the pattern paper before we transfer it to our fabric. So we'll start by marking out the shoulder line. So from the shoulder line now we'll go ahead to mark the underbust, and the underbust is 15 inches. So I'll mark 15 inches and the waist is 17 inches. So I will have this here like this. And from the waistline also, you step down by 3 inches. From the waistline, I'll step down by 3 inches. So you extend the lines. Okay, so this is the shoulder line. This is the underbust. This is the waist. And this one, I'll call it, let's call it the hip length like this, but it's not exactly on my hip length. So once we have this now, you go ahead and impute your shoulder measurements. My shoulder is 16 divided by 2. I have 8 inches. So because of the ruched effect on the shoulder line, I'm going to be adding 10 inches to the shoulder line, so I'll be able to draw it with the string. So I added extra 10 inches. If you want it more, you can add 15, as much as you want on the shoulder area, but for this tutorial I'll be using 10 inches. And also don't forget to draw out the neck width, our basic neck width, and the depth 3 by 3. So we have this like this. So on this place there now, I'm stepping down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope, then connect it to the neckline here. So I have this here. So from this place I step down now for our armhole opening. For the sleeve opening, I'll be stepping down by 10 inches. I'll step that by 10 inches. So this is where my sleeve will be stopping. So let's go ahead and impute our underbust measurements. My underbust divided by 4 is 8.25, and I have the same measurement for the waist also, 8.25. Now because on the underbust now, you have some little pleats on the underbust. So from this my measurements here, I'll be adding 6 extra inches. So this 6 inches will be what we'll be using for the little pleats on the underbust. So I have my 6 inches, I have it here like this. So connect this part to this part. So now we have our waist measurement already imputed. So on this part here, I'll be using my hip measurements, and my hip is 42 inches divided by 4. We are going to be imputing 10 points. So my my hip divided by 4 is 10.5. So I have this also here like so. So let's start by connecting these two lines together. So we have this one connected already. Then this one, we connect it to the hip line like this. So we have this, and don't forget we are extending our underbust measurements by 6 inches. So this point to this point now, I will connect them together. So this part I'm going to go in by like 1 inch to connect it to this point here. So you can use your free hand or you can use a slight curve. Okay, so you connect it together like this. So this is what the front part is going to be looking like. So now because of here, let me just add my allowance. So I'll be adding allowance of 1 inch on all sides. So I'll add my 1 inch on this part here like this, then also connect it together. All right, so once we are done this now, for the bust shape effect on the waistline now, so from this point here also you step down by 1 inch. You have the 1 inch here like this. Then from this point you go up by like 1.5 inches depending on how sharp you want the bust effect to be. So you go up by 1.5, you can go up by 2 inches depending on how sharp you want it to be. So from this part you connect this point here to this point here. So this is what is going to be serving as the basque effect. So we have this already like so. So once you're able to do this now, so I'll be labeling this part of my pattern. So this is the front part, let's say A, because our front is divided into 2 parts here. So this is the B for the front also. So once you have this now, we'll go ahead and cut out your patterns. Okay, so for this now, we have these patterns already for our front bodice. So to draw out the front neckline now, we are going to come out. So you know this is our basic neckline, which is 3 inches. So I'm going to be adding ½ inch to make it 3.5 for my neck width. You use the neck width of your choice. And you notice that the neck stops at the under bust here. So you connect this point here all the way down to the under bust. Connect it all the way down to the under bust like so. So we have this for the front. Now it's the same pattern we'll be using to cut out our back. So to draw out the back neckline now, I don't want my whole neckline to get to the under bust for the back, depending on how low you want it to be. So for the back here, I'll be using like 8 inches for the depth of my neckline. So I have this here, so I'll also connect it. So I'll connect it like this also. So the first pattern, the neckline I'll be cutting out the back first, then I will transfer it to another pattern paper to show us the difference. Alright, so I've transferred this pattern to another pattern paper and I've cut out the neckline for the back here. So this is our upper part for the back and this is also the lower part for the back. So I've cut each of the patterns out. So now that we have our back ready now, we can go ahead to trim out our front neckline. Okay, so we have the front here, so let's keep this aside, and also this upper part for the back, let's keep it aside. So now on this part here, we want to make a little modification on this part. You know, the front half length and the back half length are not always equal, but because of the type of dress we make now, we could not adjust it in our measurement. So for us to make modification to it now, from this waistline here, I'm going to be stepping up by 1 inch. So I'll mark up by 1 inch like this. So I'm going to be slashing open this part here. So we have here like this, then I'll place it on these parts that I marked. So I've successfully reduced on the center back my back half length here. I've reduced it by 1 inch. So to hold this one together now, you use your paper tape. So you're going to have this here. If you bring the front here like this, the sides, on the sides they will still be equal. See the side, they are still equal, but at this part here you see that the back is shorter than the front. So once we have this now, we'll go ahead to cut it out on our pattern paper and on our fabric. And on the fabric, we'll be adding all the necessary allowances on the fabric. Okay, so to cut out the front parts now, so I've placed it on my fabric. My fabric is on fold because we're cutting out for 2 parts here. So on this shoulder line here, I'm going to be adding 1 inch where we are going to be putting the drawstring. So I'm adding 1 inch allowance on the shoulder line like this. So I'll connect the 1 inch together like this. On the lower part, I'll be adding 0.5 inch, that's ½ inch on this lower part here. So I added 0.5 inch around this place. Now in the front, now on the underbust, don't forget that there's an overlap here. So for the overlap effect, I'm going to be increasing the front by 2 inches. So from this center front here, I will go out by 2 inches. So this is where it should be stopping. So from this point here, I will connect it up to this point on the shoulder area. So I'll connect this part together like. So once we have this now, we'll go ahead to cut out the piece. So this is the front part here. I'm going to use the pattern to cut out all other pieces. Alright, so I've cut out each of the pieces. So this is our front here. I've cut it out, and also I cut this one with the facing that we're using to turn the neckline. So you see that you use a facing or you use a bias to finish the neckline, and also the same thing for the back like this. Also for the back, I added 1 inch on the shoulder line for the ruched effect, and on the zipper area I added the zipper allowance, and on the down part I added 1/2 inch allowance. Also for this one, this is my back bodice. Now I've added the zipper allowance also, and 1/2 inch up, 1/2 inch down, and the front also 1/2 inch up, 1/2 inch down. And for the down parts, I added the lining for each one that I'll be using to finish on the joining area. So I have the lining here like this. So next what we'll be doing is I'll be taking the facing to the sewing machine to finish the neckline. So for each of the pieces now, I've used a facing to turn them together, and this is also the back. So on the shoulder line, I've joined the 1 inch allowance we added on the shoulder line. So I've joined both shoulder together, one front to the front and one back like that. I've joined it together. So next we'll be doing is for the overlap on the front line. So for the overlap now, we'll be placing this one. Don't forget we added 2 inches for our overlap. So from the center front, you mark your 2 inches here like this. So you'll be placing it also on the other side. So I placed this part on this part here. So this is the overlap here. I placed it together like this. So I'm going to be stitching this part together. So on this other part now that we have the little gathers here, so I'm going to be running a gather stitch on this part, and also on this part I will do the same thing for the back waist also. So I will run gather stitch all around to make it equal to the size of my waist measurement here. Okay, so I've joined the center front together like this. The overlap is looking like this, and also I've drawn the gathered line on the underbust area. So you're going to bring this down part here, right side of the fabric facing the right side. So I just notched the center here so as to make the side to be equal. So I notched the center here. I'm going to be pinning it down. So I will pin it down round to make sure this gathered part is equal to the down part like this. So I have this one equal like this, and I'll make sure the other side too is equal. So if I join, once I take it to the machine to sew it, I'm going to be having something like this. And also, so once I do this line, I'll flip it to the wrong side like this, then I'll place my lining on top to conceal these rough edges. So I'll place the lining like this and make sure that all the parts are also equal. Then I will make a stitch around this place. The 0.5 allowance we added here, so I'm going to use it to make the stitch. So I will do this for this part for the front, and also repeat the same thing for both sides of the back. Okay, so I've joined the down parts to it now, and I've also used the lining to turn it. See how neat it's looking. So we have been able to secure this rough edge inside like this. So you have the inside of the top of the upper parts looking like this. So once you are done with this now, you come to the shoulder area. Now it's time to finish the shoulder and to put the drawstring. So before we put the drawstring here, we are going to be turning these parts. You just sew these parts in like this separately. We just sew these parts in like this. You sew also this part, you sew it in also like this. and you do the same thing for the other side. All right, so I finished this armhole, the sleeve edges like this. So when I was doing it, I just realized that we have joined this shoulder before I started the finishing of this part. So what I just did was I just lose the stitch a little bit to this point, so I was able to stitch this side separately and also this side separately. Then I joined it back on the shoulder line. So I did the same thing for the front, for the other side also like that. So I have here what we'll be using for our drawstring here. So that this is 4 of them. They are like about 23 inches long. Yeah, so we have 23 inches long here for each one of them. So what we are going to be doing is we are going to be fixing each one into this one part. So one will be here, one will be here, and the other side too we have to. So you are going to bring your shoulder line like this. The 1 inch allowance we joined on the shoulder area. So you are going to fold it in like this, so you fold it in and you stitch it down to this part. You fold it in and stitch it down to this part. You also do the same thing for this other part also. You fold and stitch in also. So once you are done stitching it down, you are going to be passing each of this rope into the casing we just created. So what we are trying to create here is we are trying to create the casing for this. So once you pass the rope here, you are just going to stitch it on this side so that you should not be coming out on the other side. So just fold this part here in a little bit. Don't make it so tiny that you'll not be able to pass this one in successfully. So I will do that for both sides and bring it back. Alright, so I've done the stitching of the drawstring here. So this is what we have here. This is the right side and this is the wrong side. You see that the finishing here is very neat. So once you're able to do it for this both side now, you've inserted the drawstring. So if you want to draw the string now, you just pull it like this and adjust it to your preference. So however you want the ruffle to be on the shoulder. So once we have this now, we'll go ahead and join them together on the side. When I was cutting, I added 1 inch allowance for the joining. So just going to put the sides together and stitch in your 1 inch allowance on both sides. Alright, so I've joined the 2 sides together like this, and this is what we have here like this. So next we are going to be doing is we are going to be adding the gathered part of the lower part. We are going to be adding it. So whatever you have here as your measurement, you are going to deduct it from your gown length. Whatever length you are working with, might be a short 3/4 or a long gown. So whatever you have here, you are going to deduct it from the gown length to cut out the length of your gathers. So once you have the gathered parts, so this is what I'll be using for my gathered parts here. I've measured it, so this is the length I have here. So you're going to notch the center. So I've notched the center and this is the center. So when you want to join it, you place it right side facing right side. So it's either you pleat it or you run the gather stitch on it. So you place it like this and you make the pleat or the gathers round the waist to the back, and also do the same thing for this length. So once you are done with the fabric, you pick up. I want to secure these rough edges inside also, and also to give volume to the down parts of the gown. So also for this part, I will be putting lining on this part also. So I will run the gathered stitch. I will just gather it or pleat it around like I did for the main fabric, so as to conceal these rough edges and also to give it volume. Alright, so I've joined the gathers now. So this is what the down parts of the dress is looking like. This is the front and this is the back. Okay, so with the lining that I used to turn it, so this is what the inside is looking like. You notice that there is no rough edges here. It's only on the side that you just have to weave it, then you are good to go. So once you're able to do this now, we'll go ahead and fix the zip at the back here. So I'll fix the zip and also finish the hem of the dress. Then I'll show you the results on a mannequin. So thank you for joining us today. I'll see you in the next class.